Hey guys, Caleb here with DSLR Video Shooter. It's been a while. I no longer have glasses, so sorry for if that's weird for you. But in today's video, I want to talk about this thing that's just out of frame. It is what I use to record audio in pretty much every single video. And so we're going to dive into how to build this thing, put it all together. All the parts will be listed down below. But in short, it's a giant rolling stand because I'm Caleb Pike and I can't get away from things on wheels. And we have a recorder with a V-mount battery. I've got a transmitter that takes audio from my shotgun microphone, sends it over to a camera, and we'll talk about this crazy camera build. By the way, we got DJ on the camera. Go ahead and wave for us there, DJ. What's up? We'll talk about signal flow and all of that, but in short, I built this whole rig because I didn't want to ever not hit record on audio. So while audio is being recorded on this external recorder, it's also being sent and recorded on a Rode Wireless Go and in camera so that I just don't ever have issues with audio because I hate it when you roll and you forget audio or forget to hit record. I'm done with that stuff. The other cool thing about this setup is how flexible it is. Literally, I can grab this microphone, pull it down, the arm can go really in any position. The whole thing, I know this is gonna sound crazy in post, but the whole thing can be tucked into a corner somewhere super easily. I can just roll this thing over to my desk and hook it up to a live streaming camera there. It's just really flexible and never runs out of battery power and records 3 or more things. So let's go ahead and dive into putting this thing together. We're gonna start with a stand and work our way through the entire setup. But first, a disclosure, no manufacturer is sponsoring this video. However, it is supported by those of you who purchase my camera guides, LUTs, and video gear. Check out my new tabletop filmmaking guide to see how I shoot videos like this, or pick yourself up a Cineback over at camerafoundry.com. You can also support the channel by purchasing one of my small rig batteries available in the description. All right, to kick things off, we have a stand with a sandbag. This is from B&H. It is an impact rolling stand. I love these things. On top of the stand, I've added a grip head. This way we can go ahead and mount the crazy arm system. And this crazy silver looking thing arm system is the Ulanzi gear tree. Unfortunately, it looks like they may have discontinued this. There's still some parts available, but it allows you to move the microphone around. It has this awesome arm. You could use a microphone arm for this. So I've got another video that I'll link to where I've built something similar to this. This is kind of version 2, this whole setup. And in that video, I use another arm, like a Rode microphone arm, so that would work as well. And then the microphone I'm using is the good old MKH416 by Sennheiser. I've got it on like a pistol grip with a quick release, which is all unnecessary. And here is the main module. We've got a Mix Pre 3 with a battery plate on top, an arm with a Rode Wireless Go transmitter, and here it is stripped down just to the Mix Pre 3 and the battery plate on top. So I've got the original Mix Pre 3, there's obviously updated versions. The battery plate has a switch on it to turn everything on and off, which I love. That way you can leave the battery on there. And there's power delivery on the side and the back. That way you can power the Mix Pre 3, which we'll do here in a second, as well as charge the Rode Wireless Go transmitter. To attach the battery plate, I'm just using the built-in bolt on the Mix Pre 3 that would normally go into a camera. Next, we can take a short monitor arm. I believe this one is 7 inches long, don't remember the brand. And we're gonna add a threaded cold shoe onto it so that we can mount the Rode Wireless Go. Here it is mounted to the side of the whole unit, and this is threaded directly into the battery plate, and we can add the Rode Wireless Go. Now we're gonna take a cable, 3.5 millimeter from the Rode Wireless Go transmitter and go into the stereo out on the Mix Pre 3, and that's going to send audio out of the Mix Pre 3 and transmit it to our camera. Next, I'm going to add a short USB-C cable from the power delivery out on the battery plate into the Mix Pre 3. And yes, I know I'm blocking some of my ports, but I don't use any of those XLR ports, just the one on the right side. And now we're going to add a quick release to the bottom of the whole setup like this. That way we can snap this onto our rig later. Next, let's build an arm to hold that entire thing. We're going to start with a super clamp. Then we're going to take a spigot to baby pin receiver, stick that puppy in there, lock it down. Next, we can take a spigot and we're going to thread on this tiny 15 millimeter rod I found, and all this stuff I just had in the studio here, but I'll link to it all in the description. Then I added a 3/8, 2/4, 20 male, added this little handle that's 15 millimeter as well that I had from another rig. And we're gonna take the whole thing, slide it through the receiver, lock the whole thing down. And this is gonna be our headphone handle. Again, super overkill, but I had this stuff laying around. Now we can add a ball mount to the top of that thread that's going through the receiver. and that's going to add our quick release receiver from also Ulanzi so that we can go ahead and get this whole thing mounted up. Here you can see I've taken that whole arm system and added it to our rolling stand, and now we can take our completed recorder module and just snap it in place. If we need to remove it for any other reason, we can easily do that. So all of that goes on the stand. Now let's build what goes on our camera to receive that audio wirelessly. So I started with this tiny multi-shoe thing I found on Amazon, and I'm adding a Rode Wireless Go transmitter on one side and a receiver on the other. You can use any combination of Rode Wireless Go's. For this whole build, I'm using one Wireless Go 2 kit and one Wireless Pro kit. The Wireless Pros are for the audio going to the camera, and the Rode Wireless Go 2 is for the headphone monitoring. Next, we can add some cables. I'm using black to indicate that it's for the headphone jack, and red for the microphone. And every camera in the studio, I'm going to have 2 of these cables, and that way I can tell very quickly when I add this little unit to the camera what needs to get plugged in where. With that done, we can mount this to any camera. Here's my top-down camera, so I'm gonna go ahead and mount that to a little arm I already had installed there. And on the camera, I already have my black and red cable, so I can simply plug them in to the appropriate device. Next, let's build a wireless headphone setup. Now, I've kind of done a video on this already, I believe, but this is the Sony MDR7506. And on the other side, you'll see I have super glued a cold shoe receiver, and I also have done my own kind of DIY mod with a female quarter 20 thread built in, so no more cable. From there, I'm taking the Rode Wireless Go receiver and a short 3.5mm cable, hooking up to the side of the headphones and plugging it into the headphones. This gives me a super nice, tidy little wireless setup, but you could use a cable that is built in with any other headphone. Now we can connect an XLR cable from the Mix Pre 3 to our microphone, add a battery to the plate, flip the battery plate on, sending power to the Mix Pre 3. Last, we can add our headphones to the handle so we're ready to monitor. One other thing you could do is charge your Rode Wireless Pro transmitter from the battery plate, but I wouldn't do this while in use or you'll get some funky audio humming issues. So let's talk about signal flow again and make that really clear. So audio is traveling from the microphone over an XLR cable that is phantom powered into the Mix Pre 3. From there, audio is getting spit out into a Rode Wireless Go transmitter that is recording audio, and the Mix Pre 3 is recording audio. So there's 2 recordings right there externally. From the transmitter, it's getting sent over to that little module that we built and that it's plugged into the camera. So now the camera is recording audio. I can see my levels, and you can see DJ hanging out up there in the top right of this crazy teleprompter setup, which I'm looking forward to talking about here. So I can see the levels there. It's being recorded in camera, and the Rode Wireless Go, and the external recorder, and on our headphones, which are wireless. So right now I can actually hear, DJ can show this. I've got the Rode Wireless receiver on the headphones, and you can see it is also recording the headphone output on the camera. So we now have what? 1, 2, 3, 4 recordings. That way if I forget to hit record somewhere, we're good to go. The wireless headphone option is also awesome. Instead of dealing with cables all over the place, and especially from the camera to me, I can just pop these on, check my levels, make sure there's nothing crazy, and then go ahead and hang them right over here on this little handle here when I'm done with it. It's amazing, and there's pretty much 0 latency. That's another awesome hack with using Rode Wireless Go's. And you don't have to use new ones. You can go buy some, maybe the original ones on eBay or something like that. So that is my crazy audio solution. Super duper overkill. You could easily take this thing way down in cost by using a different preamp or audio recorder. You could use a way simpler solution for power. I just love being able to have the switch on there as well as the interchangeable batteries. And if I want to add more stuff to this in the future, there's tons of IO on that. You don't need the wireless headphones. You don't need to use, you know, the newer Rode Wireless Pros. You could go with the basic stuff. So, but I wanted to show that to you guys. The idea with this is never have to worry about things not getting recorded, and I can move this thing anywhere in the studio and very easily adjust my microphone to just the right spot very quickly. So that's gonna wrap up this video. Stay tuned for more on this crazy camera situation. This is like ultimate A-roll setup, as well as other videos here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Good to see you again, and without glasses, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next video.